William Shedd once said the words, "A ship is safe in harbor, but that's not what ships are for." And I was reminded of that particular quote today during this workout, and just making some adjustments and having to kind of deal with different situations. I've been getting really comfortable with the garage. I've been really in my own space and enjoying my equipment that is consistent, and that's not always what you're going to get when you are training in other environments. And so basically what happened is I'm home visiting my parents. My girlfriend is staying with us for the next day or two, and she came with me to the Timber Gym in Aberdeen. And I just feel like I've kind of been getting spoiled with using my Texas bar, and I kind of picked one off the rack here and maybe didn't make the best bar selection, and there were a couple of little miscalculations, I guess, that ended up being more of an issue than I had kind of anticipated or expected, and it made the seas a little bit treacherous. Basically what happened is that this was a really smooth knurled bar, and it had a tendency to really slide down my back, and just the different environment was kind of throwing me off my game a little bit. So you see here's I was doing triples for my squats, triples for my bench, and this is 545. First of all, I made a big loading error here and should have gone 505, 535, and then 560. The 545 was just, I was for some reason thinking in terms of the conversions when you use 25s with 6 plates on the bar versus 5 plates on the bar. It takes you to 635, where 5 plates on the bar only takes you up to 545. And that was a silly mistake that I wasted a little more energy on that set. It wasn't the end all be all, but what happens is here on this third rep of 560, the chalk bowl that is normally on the side was gone, and so I didn't chalk the bar, and it was slicking right there. You see it starts rolling up my traps, and it was just a really rough rep, and kind of just killed me for the entire rest of the workout. I used so much more energy on that. It was such a grind. My central nervous system was like, "Oh, what are you doing? You're not ready for this." And all my backup work was just really difficult. I had to pull my intensities down. I still am not convinced that that the volume needs to drop yet. I think that a lot of the issues were just in the session itself. My preparation wasn't amazing for the last couple of days since I've been traveling a lot, but that isn't a consistent variable that I can equate as being the reason that I would need to drop my volume and start to transition to the next phase of my programming. I just kind of had to say, well, this is kind of a lot of different circumstances that are not ideal, but my options right now are I can whine about it and be upset and say, woe is me, it's not fair, it didn't work, and I have other stuff that I should do. Say, well, you make it through and you do the best you can with the stuff you have and make the most of the situation. I will say every single one of these squats, which to some of you may be a good thing, some of you may feel like that's crazy, they all look better than they felt, which to me is like, wow, they look pretty awful. They felt way worse. Even right there, you see I'm just starting to really drag through a little bit, and I do want to give my my girlfriend Jessie a lot of credit for putting up with me, and I was getting pretty frustrated in this, and she was really a very positive voice, which was nice to hear. I think I might have been even getting almost a little annoyed with it because she was positive, and I was kicking myself thinking that I made all these dumb errors, and I just wasn't happy with my depth, and I wasn't happy with how anything was looking. And so I do want to say thank you to her for keeping me from going to a completely negative place and making the situation even worse, because I've just found in the past that negative motivation really is not sustainable and is not productive in the grand scheme of things. You have to find the positive takeaways from it. And right now what I'm doing is deciding that, this was a tough session, but it made me mentally tougher in that I had to face some circumstances, part of them in my control, part of them out of it, and make the most of it. And I did get all the way through. Spoiler alert, I make it all the way through the session. I didn't miss any reps. I didn't get to work within the higher intensities that I may have liked to on my squats. I had to drop down here to 455 for my final 2 sets of 5, which is like 74%, I want to say, of the assumed max of the 615 that I set with that just horrible looking 560 triple. Though I do feel like if I would have taken the 535 instead of going to 545, and I would have had a bar that wasn't slipping around on my back, I would have had a much easier time with that top triple. What's done is done. I can't go back and do it over, but I still feel like I'm not off track. This wasn't some big sign that my programming is totally off or that my progression has stalled completely. It's just a lot of different variables adding up to 1 or 2 reps that were not the way that I wanted them to really go. And so moving on to the bench here, we had kind of an interesting situation. There was a women's fitness class that was being instructed right around the benches right when we started this. So I wasn't able to play around with any camera angles or anything, but you know, made the most of the situation as well. I was having a bit of a struggle with my liftoffs here, being consistent with them. I'm just so used to pulling it out of my own rack or a bench that is, I guess, further away from the pins. And and you see how the uprights right there are tilted back. Normally I would push against the rack, use that with the leverage, and then kind of pivot my way out. That's why my butt's up, and then I go into my position from there and kind of almost like I lever the weights out. It was not working so well with those uprights, and I don't like taking liftoffs in training almost ever, unless I'm within a couple weeks of a meet. It throws off my consistency, and it throws off my kind of keeping track of where I'm at with how weights are feeling. But it was a real struggle just for my shoulders, and so I was losing my position at the bottom quite a bit more than I'm used to, at least in the last few weeks, and I had a tendency to touch really low on both my 320 triple and the 335 triple. I touched the 3rd rep extremely low, and it made the rep really hard to lock out. But again, I made it through, so it couldn't have been the worst thing in the world, and the strength is still coming. It's just the performance and the execution was a little off, and that's something that I can fix in the future. And so, if nothing else, I'm excited to fix the issues. I did my back off work there, 315 for a set of 5 and a set of 4 with my regular grip. Then I moved to my close grip to try to knock off the rest of the volume, and it was a struggle. I was trying to get done. I was just mentally over this workout and just wanted to get through it. So I just put together the reps that I could. Again, trying not to drop too far below 75%, but this just was not a great day in terms of how everything was going, so I'm just going to take what was there and accept the situation. Overall volume's up still, intensity didn't drop too much, so we saved face a little bit. But on to the next workout. Going to be meeting up with Benny Seath in the next couple of days, and he and I should get a deadlift session together on Thursday. That's going to be fun. I did bring my deadlift bar with me. I brought that in the car, so I probably got some weird looks on the highway, but I don't care. I like me my bar, and we're going to have fun. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like rating if you did. It really does help the channel out. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below. I really enjoyed talking to everybody. If you didn't like the video, go ahead, watch it another time. Maybe you'll change your mind. Hopefully you will. Other than that, check out all the links in the description for all that social media goodness, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great night. Bye.